I'm a practitioner, and my practice is trying to develop economically this city of Barcelona. For a long while I was in charge of Barcelona Activa, which is the local development agency of the city of Barcelona, so dealing with entrepreneurs and economic promotion. And nowadays I'm dealing with a private group of citizens that aim to make Barcelona one of the best cities in the world to attract talent and develop economic activity. And within this framework, the taste of Barcelona, I think that it is important. The taste or the feeling or the brand of Barcelona, the reputation of Barcelona is something important. So I'm going to try to say about a little bit about that, but first of all, I'm sure that when you told home that you were coming to Barcelona on Thursday in June, when Sonar is around, the Sonar Music Festival, you may have had some skeptical faces in front of you at home, saying, okay, no, I'm going to a really top-level seminar, and we're going to work hard on Thursday and on Friday, and the faces kept being, I guess, skeptical, I guess. So why? Because many people, and we worked a lot on that, identifies this city with things like that. So high gastronomy, so restaurants, great food. Also with the sun and the beach, and the chance you have now to go to the beach and rest there and have a nice time. Great landscapes as well, great city landscapes, Gaudí architecture, modern architecture, Mies van der Rohe, markets, so you can buy, you can walk around, the Boqueria market nearby, also sports, so you can go to find some football games, the Barça, and also some great Gothic masterpieces, and of course the Sagrada Familia. So many people, when you talk about Barcelona, identify this Barcelona, which is great. What does it mean? That we are perceived as a postcard, as a great postcard, and which is nice. Many cities would like to be perceived at least as a postcard. That's good. And as Monica mentioned before, we were not a touristic destination when I was a kid. We were not. We didn't have much tourists in Barcelona. So we were not a postcard. Nowadays, yes, we are a postcard. And the aim people like me and my organization has is, yes, it's good to be a postcard, but we have to add something else to that postcard. We have to tell the world that a part of being those things, we are also a business card. So to add to that postcard, a business card. To tell the world that Barcelona, a part of being that, is a great research city. There are some great research centers in Barcelona. There are some great automobile factories in the area of Barcelona. This was, and Joan knows better than else, that was an industrial city, and still is an industrial city. Volkswagen Group has one of the biggest factories worldwide near Barcelona, or in the Barcelona metropolitan area. Nissan as well. There's a huge food industry in the city. There are plenty of pharmaceutical companies nearby. And if you walk around, and even in this Raval, you'll find some old factories transformed into public facilities nowadays, or transformed into parks, or transformed into other uses. So Barcelona is more than a postcard, and that's important. And well, I must confess, we haven't been much successful on that. Because year after year, the world keeps seeing Barcelona as a great postcard. Great. No worry about that. But we want to add something else to that postcard. At least a business card. Because we want people to come here not only to spend, but also to invest. Because this city is a city to work and live. And if you only have postcards, you don't live from postcards. You survive from postcards. That's something but we need to live, and we need to stay, and we need our talent to grow in Barcelona. We need to attract talent, and you don't attract talent only being a postcard. And that's our aim. Barcelona has, and when I was thinking in what you're doing here, has worked, I guess, a lot on census and the city. And the city council has written many books, the colors of Barcelona, and you can find them in the library. Even BMW, about 10 years ago, created a big contest on innovation on which is the color of Barcelona. And many creatives, architects, designers, innovators were thinking for a year on which is the color of Barcelona. And which color they decided was the color of Barcelona was the blue of the sardine. I don't know why, but that was what they told. So it's been working that. I also came with something one year the mayor of Barcelona gave to those working for the city, which is that. This is I don't know, Joan, if you have that. That was highly controversial. That was a gift, a Christmas gift for city servants. And it says, Barcelona smells. The smells of Barcelona. And what you can open, and you will find a book, and also some I don't know, how Barceloneta smells, how La Rambla smells. So you can play with that, because yes, to build that postcard that we are, maybe the senses have been very important, because this is a Mediterranean city, and that maybe is part of the success of this city when people visit it, because we don't have something very special. We're not London, we're not Paris, we're not Vienna, we're not New York. There's really nothing really special in Barcelona. It's the overall, and maybe these feelings, these senses, the light, the sun, the I don't know, the sea, the whatever makes this city something special. But again, we're not a postcard. We are a postcard. We would like to be something else. What do we would like to be? And there's a personal approach to that. And what I play with, I like to play with letters, and that's what it came when playing with the Barcelona letters. And I call that decoding Barcelona, not in terms of senses, but in terms of letters. What does Barcelona means a part of being a postcard? And according to my approach, the B of Barcelona should mean brains, a city oriented to talent. Talent is the key engine for economic development nowadays. So this city should be a city devoted to talent. It has some history on that. Many creatives created from Barcelona. So these brains is something important in the city of Barcelona. The A is airport. It's a connected city. It's where it is because it's easy to connect with Barcelona. And in fact, nowadays, maybe most of you came through direct flights from elsewhere in Europe. And it's the second best connected city with Europe through this airport. So it's good to be a connected city. So that's why A stands for airports. The R could stand for research, which is something important in Barcelona. But I prefer to talk about roots. This is a city highly rooted. Joan, when you go to his museum and you go down there, you feel that that's something important. This is highly rooted city. We love our roots, we love our language, we love our traditions, and open traditions, easy to engage with, and those are part of our city. We don't have to forget about those roots in order to be really a global city. The C stands for, according to my approach, to social cohesion. This is a city that, in order to be competitive, that could be the C, but I prefer to put cohesion, has to be highly cohesionated. You can walk all around Barcelona, and there's been, since democracy, a huge effort to make every neighborhood part of Barcelona and keeping its identity and being safe, and that's a huge task in order to be really a global city. The E stands for entrepreneurship. We are not a head of state, This city hasn't been built by a king, hasn't been built by a president of the republic, hasn't been built by a pope, has been built by its civil society. It has a huge entrepreneurial character. And this is, of course, part of our DNA. Leadership. We love leading things. We love to say that we lead cities movements, smart cities, and all those kinds of things. So Barcelona likes to lead the Mediterranean. Historically, they did it, and now we do have the headquarters of the European Union for the Mediterranean. Nothing done there, but we like to be leading some things. As a port city, Joan mentioned about the Chinese Quarter. It's an open city. Historically, port cities are always open, and this neighborhood is part of that. And you mentioned immigration. When I began working for the city council, late 90s, I was invited to a conference in Brussels to talk about immigration, and Barcelona as a whole had less than 3% of migration. 1999, and nowadays is about 19%. So huge. It's highly open, and haven't been huge problems to tackle this issue. It's a network city, and the last A, we had airports, and the last A is I love to say that we are an ambitious city. Because we are a small city worldwide. This is the city, administratively is 1.6 million inhabitants. The metropolitan area would be around 4 million inhabitants. That's nothing worldwide. That's nothing compared to German network of cities, London, Paris, Singapore, all those cities. But we have the ambition to be really there. And that's what I had to say. We look like a postcard. Yes, we are perceived as a postcard, and we would like to add to that postcard something else, apart of being a postcard, maybe a business card, a research card, or whatever. So thank you very much.